Welcome back to part 2, where we're going to talk about budgeting basics. So in part 1 of module 5, money management and financial wellness, we taught you how to tell what a need is and what a want is, and how to tell the difference between the two. A budget is just where those choices live on paper. Okay, from those choices, we are creating a plan. So you practice telling needs from wants on our interactive worksheet. That thinking is the first step. A budget just gives those decisions a permanent home. A budget is a plan. It's not a punishment. It's literally just you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went at the end of the month. The habit of noticing your spending is basically practicing for this. Okay. You don't need to start over. You don't need to write it down. You're already ready. So let's take our choices to a plan. What is a budget really? A budget is a simple plan for the money coming in and the money going out. That's all. It's nothing complicated. It's nothing intimidating. It's not crazy hard. It's super, super simple. So your paycheck and any other income that you get each month is your starting number. Everything else is built from there. That's your money in. Now, every dollar that you spend is your money out, and you're spending it on things like needs, wants, savings, etc. The goal is for this number to be less than or equal to the money in every month. All right, the gap that matters is the difference between in and out. However small, however big, it's what builds your stability over time. Every dollar of breathing room counts. Why budget at all? What is the purpose of a budget? A budget does not restrict your life. It replaces stress and guessing with a plan you can actually see and follow. A budget doesn't tell you that you cannot have. It tells you what you can have and that you're covered. That feeling is worth more than any single purchase. Remember, we talked about how budgeting can bring peace? It really does, because it replaces the stress of not knowing where your money is going with a plan. Instead of anxiety at the end of the month, you have a map. You know what's coming in, you know what's going out, and whether you're going to be okay or if you need to make different arrangements. And needs come before wants in your budget plan. A budget puts your most important expenses first, automatically, before you have a chance to spend on other things that can wait. And most people are surprised when they actually sit down and they write it out. You can see how much power it gives you in your budget plan to decide what you're going to do with your money. Do you like it like that? Do you want to change it? Maybe you want to spend more money in this area or in that area. All right, so let's make a budget plan. Step 1, you're going to add up your income. So all of the money that is coming in, your paycheck, anything else that comes in that is regularly deposited into your account or is a check that you cash, a side job, child support, benefits, all the things, take home pay, all the things that come into your account. Add that up. Step 2, list your needs. Okay, remember what counts as a need: the housing, utilities, food, transportation to work, insurance, all of the things that keep your life running. Needs come out first before anything else every single month. These are non-negotiable. They get priority over every other spending decision. So go ahead and add them up, and that total is your baseline cost of living. It is the floor of your budget, and it must be covered before anything else can be paid. Next, you're going to take your wants into consideration. Remember those things that count as wants, like eating out, streaming subscriptions, fun money, shopping money, extras. These are, definitely real and valid, but they wait until all needs are covered. Okay? Wants do belong in a budget. A good budget plan does not eliminate enjoyment, but wants come after needs. So give them a set amount. Putting a number on your wants lets you enjoy them without the guilt of overspending. Also, you're not guessing. You planned for it. Step 4, make room for savings. Savings is not what's left over after everything else. It's a line in your budget. Just like a bill you pay yourself. You need to treat savings like a bill. Give savings its own line in your budget plan, just like rent or utilities. Because when you treat it as it is required, it actually happens. Now, small amounts count. $10 or $20 a paycheck is enough to start. The goal right now is just the habit. The amount doesn't really matter. It can be $1. That's okay. We're going to go deeper on saving strategies in part 3. But for now, just give your savings its own line. Here is a beautiful framework for how to split it up. It's called 50-30-20. So this is a really, it's not really rigid rule, but it's a really useful guide for building your first budget plan. Okay. So 50% of your income goes to your needs, like housing, food, utilities, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. 30% goes to your wants, like 30% should go to your wants, like eating out, subscriptions, fun money, etc. Okay? Then your last 20% goes to savings and debt. Building your cushion and paying down what you owe beyond minimum payments is where this should go. Okay? These are guides, not rules. And sometimes if needs takes more than half of your income, that's okay. That just means you're going to want to trim down on your wants, trim down on your savings. You may not have enough room for many wants or much savings. Just make sure that you have more income coming in than going out. Now let's do the math that matters, because your budget comes down to one simple equation. And you're going to run this equation every month so that you always know where exactly you stand and what exactly to spend. Income, needs, wants, savings. That's the whole formula. Write it out with real numbers each month. No apps required. Just a piece of paper and a pen. Now you can use apps if you want to. Rocket Money's a fun one. But 0 or above. Okay, if the result is 0, every dollar has a job. If it's positive, you have extra money to save or apply to debt. Either way, you're on track. It needs to be 0 or above. That's how you know your budget plan is working. Below 0, you're going to want to cut out a want or lower a cost. Okay, you don't need more willpower. You just need to adjust the numbers. Find one want to reduce or one cost to lower, and that's it. When the numbers don't work. When you have more money going out than you have coming in, then we need to do some troubleshooting. This is common. It's not a failure. A budget that does not balance the first time is just giving us information. Information that we can change and act on things differently. First, you're going to want to trim your costs. Start by reducing wants. Even small cuts add up. Maybe canceling one subscription here or there, or cooking at home 2 or more nights per week. And that can move your numbers. You can also look for cheaper needs, a smaller phone plan, shopping at a discount grocery store, carpooling. These are real options. Needs do not always have to have a fixed price. If needs exceed income, that's a signal for more income or lower cost needs. Okay, community resources, assistance programs, second income stream may be the answer. You have a couple of options. Make it a habit. A budget is not a one-time exercise. It is a living document that you return to. And each time you do it, it takes less effort and delivers more confidence. Check in when you get paid. Each pay period opens your budget to see where you stand. Adjust it as life changes. A new bill, a pay raise, a one-time expense, whatever it is, all the things are changing. Okay, so you always need to check it and track your spending against it. In part 1, we did our spending log, and that was practice for this. You can always use that and compare what you actually spend to what you planned. That gap is where the learning happens. The first month is learning. Don't expect it to be perfect. Month 1 is about just gathering all the real information, and then by month 2 or 3, it becomes fast, easy. You kind of have the hang of it. The main thing, though, is to stay consistent. The goal is not to have a perfect budget, okay? It is a budget that you can actually use. It's a budget that may look imperfect at first, but over time, it builds financial stability. So just stay consistent, keep practicing the habit, and yeah, stay at it. Lastly, we are going to reflect and one step forward. A budget turns money from a source of stress into something that you can control and have peace about. You already have everything you need to start. So, right now, this week, as always, I challenge you to write one full month. You're going to list your income, your needs, your wants, and one savings line. One full month on paper. This is your entire assignment. You're going to do 1 month at a time. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to build one step. Just build this month's budget. Next month will be easier because you already did it. I want you to focus on progress over perfection. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to have a plan, a written plan, even a rough one, but just something that puts you ahead of the guessing game every single time. And remember, 1 month at a time. Your budget is going to become the tool that moves you from struggle to stability.